Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss about design procedure for the design of tension member subjected to axial tensile load. Okay. So, in this case, in the design problem, the external applied tensile load will be given in the question to you. Okay. So, you have to design the connection and you have to design the tension member. Design of the tension member means you have to design the dimensions of the tension member required to carry that external applied tensile load. Okay. Then after that you have to check whether this tension member and the connection is safe against the failure or not. Okay. So, in the first step you have to calculate gross area required. Okay. So, you have to calculate the gross area required to carry the external applied tensile load. Okay. I have already told that in case of design member always the external load will be given to you. Okay. And you have to only design the member and design the connection, and you have to check whether it is safe against the failure or not. That means the design strength of the connection and design strength of the tension member should be greater than that of the external applied tensile load. Okay. So, in the first step we have to determine the gross area required to carry the external applied tensile load. Okay. So, here you can calculate the gross area required by equalizing the yield strength of gross section equal to external applied tensile load. Okay. So, here TDG is the yield strength of the gross section and TU is the external applied tensile load. This is the factored load. Okay. Factored tensile load which will be given in the question. Okay. So, TDG you know, that is gross area into yield stress divided by gamma m naught. Okay. And this value will be given in the question. Okay. So, yield stress of the material you know that is 250 megapascal, gamma m naught is 1.1 and external applied tensile load will be given in the question. Okay. So, the only unknown thing is the gross area. Okay. So, from this equation you can calculate the gross area required. Okay. Okay. So, in the first step calculate the gross area required by equalizing the yield strength of the gross section with the external applied tensile load. Okay. Then after that we have to design the dimension of the tension member. Okay. So, in the first step we will calculate the gross area required. So, after calculating this we will provide the area, we will provide the area which is greater than that of the required gross area for the safer side. Okay. So, in the first step we will calculate the gross area required and in the second step we will calculate the area provided. We will determine the area provided which should be greater than required area. Okay. So, to provide the gross area greater than that of this required area, we have to choose a section from the steel table. Okay. So, we have to choose a section from the steel table which has the gross area greater than that of this required gross area. Okay. So, we can choose any angle section or channel section or eye section from the steel table, but it must have the gross area greater than that of this required area. Okay. So, we always provide greater area than that of the required area for the safer site. Okay. So, from the steel table, choose a section. Choose a section. You can choose any section. You can choose any angle section or channel section, eye section, or you can design a steel plate also. Okay. So after the selection of the section, write down all the properties of that section. Okay, and that properties you can get from the steel table. Okay, so so the corresponding properties of the sections, that means its with its thickness of flange, thickness of wave, depth of wave, radius of gyration, moment of inertia, its weight, all the properties you have to write after the selection of the section from the steel table. Okay, and it should have greater area than that of this calculated area of that we have calculated in the step number 1. Okay. Then in the third step, design the connection. So till now what we have done, we know that how to calculate the gross area required in the step 1, then in the step 2 the selection of the section that we can choose from the steel table, and we can get all the properties of that section from the steel table. Okay, and that section should have the area greater than that of the gross area required. Okay. Then in the third step, design the connection. That means we have to calculate the number of bolts required or the length of weld required to resist the external applied tensile load. Okay. So for example, in the question it is given to design the bolted connection. Okay. So you have already learned how to design the bolted connection. Okay. So first we have to calculate here the number of bolts required. Okay. So that can be calculated by the external applied load divided by strength of 1 bolt, design strength of 1 bolt. Okay, so that can be calculated by external applied tensile load divided by design strength of 1 bolt. So design strength of 1 bolt, how will we calculate? Okay, so we can calculate by determining the bearing strength of 1 bolt, bearing strength of 1 bolt, then design shear capacity of 1 bolt. Okay. So first calculate the bearing strength of 1 bolt, then calculate the design shear capacity of 1 bolt, then take the minimum value as the design strength of 1 bolt. Okay, that you have already learned. Okay, then calculate the number of bolts required. Okay, then after calculating the number of bolts required, just arrange the bolts in a suitable manner. Okay, then arrange the bolts in a suitable manner, and the design of the welded connection, that also you have already learned. Okay, then after designing the connection, you have to check whether the section is safe against the failure or not. Okay, so in the fourth step, you have to calculate design strength of tension member. Okay, so the design strength of the tension member can be calculated by determining the yield strength of gross section, rupture strength of critical section and block shear strength. Okay, so after calculating these three values, we will take the minimum value as the design strength of tension member, as the tension member can fail against yielding of the gross section or rupture of the critical section or the block shear failure. Okay, so we have to calculate these three strengths. Okay, so first calculate yield strength. Gross section, that is TDG. So here in case of gross area, you have to put the provided area. Okay, the area of the section, not the area required, which we will calculate in the step number 1. That, so remember that, just put the provided area here. Okay, then in the second step, calculate rupture strength of critical section. That is TDL. Then calculate the block shear strength. Okay. So, after calculating these three values, take the minimum value as the strength of the tension member and check and ensure that this design strength of the tension member, means the design strength of the chosen or the chosen section should be greater than that of the external applied tensile load. Okay. So, the design strength of the tension member, that means the member which we have designed, okay, which we will choose from the steel table. Okay. So, that strength should be greater than that this external applied tensile load. Okay. If this design strength of the tension member is less than external applied tensile load, then we have to redesign. That means we have to choose another section from the steel table, and again we have to calculate the design strength of the tension member. Then we will check whether it is coming greater than that of this value or not. Okay. So, if the design strength of the tension member is coming less than that of this tensile load, this external applied load, then we have to redesign. That means we have to choose another section from the steel table. Okay. Then in the last step, check the slenderness ratio value. Okay. So, slenderness ratio, that you know, that is effective length divided by minimum radius of gyration. Okay. So, about the slenderness ratio we will discuss briefly in compression member. Okay. Because generally slenderness ratio is required whether there is a chances of buckling. Okay, so the buckling failure occurs in case of the compression member. So in case of compression member, generally the slenderness ratio value is required. Okay, but in case of tension member, it doesn't go under buckling failure. So why will we check the slenderness ratio in case of the tension member? Okay, so IS code restricts the value of the slenderness ratio in the tension member due to the reversal stress conditions. That means the tension member, due to any accidental case or any reversal stress condition, it may undergo compressive force. Okay, so for that purpose, for the safer side, we have to check the slenderness ratio and we have to design according to that. Okay, for the safer side only. Okay, so the value of the maximum slenderness ratio is given in the table number 3 of IS code 800 2007. Okay, so the maximum value of the slenderness ratio is given in the table number 3, you can check. Okay, so there are different conditions. That means when a member is subjected to only compressive force, or whether or when a member is subjected to only tensile force, or when a member is subjected to wind load and earthquake load. Okay, so there are various conditions, and according to that the maximum value of the slenderness ratio is given in the table number 3. So you can check. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to calculate the slenderness ratio of the section. Okay, so for that we require the effective length and the minimum radius of gyration. Okay, so the effective length will be given in the question, and the minimum radius of gyration you can get from the steel table. Okay, you can get from the properties of the section from the steel table. Okay, so calculate the slenderness ratio of the section, then check it should be less than that of the maximum slenderness ratio value. Okay, so this maximum slenderness ratio value you can get from the table number 3. Okay, so for that a condition is required. Okay, and that condition will be given in the question. Okay, so according to that condition, check the maximum slenderness value. Okay, and calculate the slenderness value of the section which should be less than that of this maximum slenderness ratio value. Okay, so in this way you can design the tension member. Okay, so in the next lecture we will solve a design problem related to this design of tension member. Okay, thank you.